From glitching the moon to the Farlands, here are 100 ways to break Minecraft. Saplings can't be grown when a block is on top of it. But what if I told you this wasn't true? Because if you place any type of log above the sapling, it'll still be able to grow right through. You can even have massive jungle trees growing straight through birch logs. Okay, this looks insane. Everyone knows you can see through a creeper's eyes in spectator mode. However, there's a glitch you can do with it. If you /kill yourself while inside the creeper, you'll respawn and be stuck with creeper vision. Luckily, there is an easy way to fix this. Just press F4 and you can toggle the effect off and on. While not too useful, it's a cool trick to show your friends. There's a way to duplicate dragon's breath. If you look up at the dragon while it's perched and spam right-clicked using bottles, the breath would end up spreading all throughout the end island. You'd have enough dragon breath for years. What's the maximum amount of experience you can get in survival? The number is roughly 238 million levels. Once you hit it, your XP bar will disappear, not letting you get any more. You're definitely one of the best Minecrafters if this happens to you. However, there's a way to get more. Commands can be used to set your XP to the integer limit, and if you collect even a single more point of experience, your level will roll back to 0. No! All my hard work! Trapdoors actually save an arrow's momentum. You can see this pretty easily if you shoot an arrow into a trapdoor and open it. The arrow will continue flying forward. But what's even crazier is that you can blast a bunch of TNT nearby to supercharge the arrow. The next person who opens the trapdoor will be a goner. Never clutch using a bed. While it may seem like a safe option to use it to catch your fall, once you get out of the bed, you'll take more fall damage than you would have if you just took the fall damage normally. The player used to turn with the minecart, but in newer versions of Minecraft, you just keep facing the same direction. I'm kinda glad this happens because constantly changing directions makes me dizzy. Minecraft hitboxes are broken. For some reason, mobs can actually hit through walls, even though it should be impossible. The strange hitboxes also make it so mobs can hit you through diagonal sections, which is why you need to cover up all corners when going AFK. Minecraft has had a ton of X-ray glitches that have gotten patched, but the one that lasted the longest is this one. If you go in F5 and increase your FOV, you can see through walls. If you want an even better view, you can shrink your Minecraft window, and you'll be able to see way more. This probably has happened to you before. When standing on soul sand next to lava, you'll actually catch on fire. It's a rather annoying bug and definitely surprised me the first time it happened. When breaking the top of a grass block, only dirt particles appear. This is because running and breaking particles uses only the bottom texture of the block. So next time you're sprinting on grass and only see dirt, you know why. Dolphins are very helpful, but they used to break the game if you had them in a water stream next to a nether portal with items nearby. Once the dolphin was freed, it'd pick up the item and duplicate it. This was a pretty unique way to duplicate. One of the most iconic ways to break Minecraft is just by using an ender pearl to get on the nether roof. It's extremely easy to do and will let you quickly travel across the world. Minecarts are able to snap the rails below even if a block is in the way. The minecart can snap through blocks like slabs, salt sand, farmland, and even chests. It feels like you're hacking with this glitch. If you glitch on top of the nether roof, it'll be a barren wasteland. However, on a 1.16 snapshot, crimson trees actually generated up there, so you could build tools and even a nice house. When you attach a sign to the wall, it might appear to be placed on it, but if you look closely, there's actually a small gap between the sign and the wall. The small gap can even be right-clicked on to add text there. How small can you make your hitbox? The player's hitbox is roughly 1.86 blocks tall while standing, and by crouching, you can bring it down to 1.5 blocks. However, the hitbox can get much smaller. If you enter your swimming animation or fly with an elytra, your hitbox will be only 0.6 blocks tall, but you can still get smaller. If you enter a bed, the player's hitbox will be only 0.2 blocks tall, and it is located inside the player's head. This makes it so you can't hit a player in a bed unless you aim for the center of their head. If you splash invisibility on a pig, the saddle can still be seen. While this may seem normal at first, if you do the same thing to a horse, the horse's saddle becomes invisible. The Ender Dragon fight is pretty easy with the right tools, but on a 1.17 snapshot, the end island is completely broken. The end pillars generated inside the island, so for each crystal, you'll have to mine underground trying to guess where they are. If you spam type messages, you'll be kicked out of your own single-player world and brought to the multiplayer screen. This only happens if your world has cheats disabled. When your tools hit 0 durability, they break. So how does this item exist? Mobs equipped with gear have a small chance to drop 0 durability items. Mojang even knows about this and said they won't fix it. But what's even crazier is this negative durability item. You can give yourself an item with negative durability and the red bar will go across your screen. If you set the item durability to the negative integer limit, using it once will make the durability roll over and be completely new. Axolotls were super broken. Putting leads on them would for some reason make them spin around you very fast. fast. It's like they're dancing around me. This sand will kill you. In an early version of 1.14, if sand was placed on an entity, the mob would then no-clip through the ground. Testing it out on yourself, you'll see that it makes you sink right through the ground until you're killed by the void. It's like entering the back rooms. Another way to perform this glitch is just by pushing a block into an entity. It's a pretty cool way to break Minecraft when it's not done on yourself. If you give yourself negative experience, nothing will happen in your hotbar. However, what you can do instead is summon negative XP orbs, and if you're holding a mending tool, it'll actually take away the durability. Given enough negative orbs, your gear can even get a negative durability. In version 1.8.4, dispensers could place down command blocks. Map makers loved this feature, but it ended up getting removed in the next update for a surprising reason. Command blocks normally can't be placed in survival, but hackers were able to use dispensers to place down command blocks and create a force OP exploit, giving them admin powers. While most speedrunners use beds to quickly kill the Ender Dragon, there was a much quicker method. In 1.17, if you placed an end crystal, as soon as you entered the end, the dragon would instantly be killed. Most players build huge and elaborate contraptions to crash servers, but what if you could do it with just a crafting table and iron ingot? Well, YouTuber Horizon lagged a pay to win Minecraft server doing just that. An auto-clicker was used to spam the quick craft menu, which caused the entire server to lag and eventually crash. This is a snowball lag machine. Snowmen try to shoot a zombie, but before the snowballs hit, they get carried into a storage area by soul sand bubbles. There is no limit to how many snowballs can build up, and it can break your world with lag. Don't use this bed. On Beta 1.6 pre-release 3, if you use a bed on a server, it'll prevent you from ever waking up. It's like a permanent nightmare. Ever wanted a flying pet? Well, when the Strider was first added, you could fishing rod it into the air, and when you got on, the Strider would stay in the sky, and you could waddle above your world. If you die on this strange Minecraft version, you'll be put in a limbo state where you'll be stuck inside your own body. Going into the third-person perspective, you'll see that your movements aren't attached to your character at all. Although you can't move around, you can actually attack yourself and get this cursed death message. If you're falling from the sky and don't have any items, how do you survive? Well, all you have to do is disconnect right before hitting the ground, and once you enter the world again, you'll be granted a brief period of invincibility. This glitch can also be used to escape lava by disconnecting and rejoining every few seconds for invincibility. Want to break bedrock? Well, a simple way to do so was with Triply, because when it was first added, bone mealing would make it grow right through bedrock. The bug worked on other blocks as well, like portal frames, enchanting tables, and ender chests. Mine carts are super buggy. When you ride around a corner and blocks are at eye level, the screen blacks out for a second. In older versions, you would even take damage. This version of Minecraft is dangerous. Dying in the nether portal would make it so you could never click respawn. Even if you restart your game, the respawn buttons will still be grayed out. To fix this, you just had to update your world. The nether and end dimensions are needed to beat the game. However, on 1.16 pre-release 1, all dimension settings were accidentally removed. This made the nether and end completely inaccessible and would crash the game trying to enter them. It would also cause the world seed to randomize every time you loaded up the world, so you'd get these corrupted chunk borders. Adventure mode makes it impossible to break blocks. Well, sorta. If you begin breaking a block in survival mode and then switch to adventure mode, attempting to break the same block shows the animation. However, you won't actually be able to destroy the block, just the animation plays. This surprisingly also works in spectator mode and should not be in the game. Snowballs don't do any damage, and their entire purpose is to just deal knockback. However, they're actually broken. If you launch snowballs out of a dispenser, it won't deal any knockback. The same goes for a couple other projectiles like eggs, fireworks, and potions of harming. And what's even more broken was the end dimension on a snapshot. Entering the end would show random blocks scattered everywhere and missing chunks out of the island. Trying the nether wasn't any better. It'd have the same corrupted terrain. This happened when you joined a server on 12W49A. Look at this cat. It's completely missing a leg. In this snapshot, cats are spawned with only 3 legs. Although it looks pretty goofy, the cat still walked like normal and died like normal too. Using an NBT editor, YouTuber AntVenom was able to set enchantments to the maximum integer limit. A max sharpness diamond sword was calculated to do just over 1 billion hearts of damage, and a max smite sword was calculated to do 5 billion hearts to a spider. Insane! You can break Minecraft with just a trapdoor. Although a fairly simple block, there actually isn't a limit to how fast you can open and close it. So by using an extremely fast auto clicker, you can toggle the trapdoor and create a super loud sound. The same can also be done on bells to create a ring that can be heard from miles away. With just a fishing rod and minecart, you used to be able to soar through the sky. You could do this by right-clicking the rod super quickly, and it'd grab the minecart and continuously take you higher into the sky. By quickly entering and leaving a boat, you can actually trick the game and make it lose track of where you are. You can wander across your entire world, but if if you shift, you'd be teleported right back to the boat. This only worked on older versions of multiplayer and gained notoriety when YouTuber Fundy performed it on a live stream. Everyone knows ice makes the ground slippery, but if you place carpet on top of it, you'll still be sliding. What's even more insane is that you can put entire slabs on top and you'll still slide. What is this, Mojang? If you rename a chest in an anvil, clicking into the GUI would show the new name. However, you can actually break this by renaming the chest to a super long name. Once you open it, you'll see the text spills outside of the screen. When you slept with blocks on top of you, your sleeping position would just move to the ground next to the bed. However, this has since been fixed and now you can't enter the bed and get an error message. However, by exchanging the full blocks for something like an enchanting table, you can still enter the bed and you'll see books floating above while you sleep. Minecraft options won't go over a certain number, but with the sliders unlimited mod, we can change the options to go even higher. Want a render distance of 0? Now you can. Or how about an FOV over the limit? Your perspective will actually flip upside down. This mod completely breaks Minecraft's limits and you can do some crazy things with it, even making light sources no longer work. This mod allows you to have infinite render distance. You're able to see across your entire world, and it's not even that laggy. It works by prioritizing details of closer objects while reducing the detail of objects further away. It's a creative way to allow Minecraft to render all this terrain. Check out this minecart furnace. Notice anything strange? Well, the furnace's orientation is constantly changing in weird ways. This is because minecarts are hard-coded to face only south and east, so the orientation flips the wrong way when changing directions. The same thing happens with minecart chests, where the front of the chest strangely swaps orientations when making turns. How are these rails floating in the air? There aren't any barrier blocks or anything in between, but it was done using sticky pistons. Minecart rails can be elevated if you pull up the middle rail. It looks pretty cursed and is a pretty harmless way to break Minecraft. Torches have to be attached to a block or they'll break. However, using commands, we can fill a large section of torches floating in the air. This can also be done with beds and even doors. Each world only has one dragon egg, but if you ever wanted to get another, there was a very easy method. All you had to do was place fences below the end portal and then drop the dragon egg on top. When you go through the portal, you'll find both the item and the block waiting for you. Zombies aren't the smartest. Once a zombie locks on a target, he'll never give up. There can even be closer villagers nearby, and he still won't care. If you summon a skeleton riding a turtle, the skeleton constantly tries to shoot the turtle and misses. It's definitely not a feature Mojang intended. Before the world border existed, there were the FARLANDs. It looked like a giant ant farm and looked way cooler than what we have now. It appeared 12 million blocks away from spawn, and well worth the travel. One player even spent 3 years traveling to the FARLANDs on foot. That's next level dedication. There's a way to make your fishing rods unbreakable. All you have to do is cast your line normally, and once the fish starts coming in, just swap to a normal fishing rod. This way you can get faster fishing rates without losing any durability on your enchanted rod. But what's even crazier is that on snapshot 19W36A, fire, falling, and drowning damage were accidentally disabled by default. So by just changing your world to this version, you can become immune to all the elements without using any commands. You can break Minecraft's moon. This is one of the craziest bugs I've ever seen. It happens in older versions of Bedrock Edition when you set the time to negative. Doing so causes the moon to glitch and show all sorts of weird textures, from glowing rays to all the moon files at once. I actually prefer this. Bedrock is the strongest block in all of Minecraft, but on this seed, a fossil generated, completely breaking through the world and revealing the void. Scaffolding can be placed up to 6 blocks out from its base. However, you used to be able to break the game by clicking super quickly to create gold scaffolding blocks. You could use this to walk further from the base. It's a client-side glitch, and from other players' perspective, it looks like you're just fly hacking. YouTuber Dream used this glitch to escape hunters who were trying to kill him. Tridents used to be extremely overpowered. If you threw a trident at a hanging sign, it'd get stuck there. The next player to walk nearby would be obliterated by lightning. A Warden's Sonic Boom bypasses armor and deals up to 7.5 hearts of damage. While that may seem overpowered already, we can gather a ton of Wardens together to create a death beam. It can absolutely annihilate the Wither with the combined ray. It's not even fair. But what's even crazier was the hanging root glitch. Just look at it. The dropped item was as big as a fully placed block. Luckily, in the next update, it was fixed and the hanging root was brought to normal size. Minecarts are amazing for transporting loot across your world, but crafting all the rails can take up a ton of iron. Instead, if you just place 3 minecarts on a single powered rail, minecarts will move infinitely without rails. This will save so much iron. The /TP command lets you teleport around your world, but it can also be used to paralyze your friends. With a repeating command block, teleport the player to the same coordinates and they'll be stuck forever. Wait, how do I turn this off? All the way until version 1.8.9, for some reason, eggs and snowballs both deal damage to the Ender Dragon, and you can actually kill it with them. They didn't work on other mobs, just the Ender Dragon. Who knew the dragon's weakness was eggs and snowballs? The most satisfying way to break Minecraft is with illegal enchantments. By using commands, you can put Fortune 1000 on a pickaxe, and mining diamonds will drop a ton. You can also put looting 1000 on your swords to get pork chops for years. This is the life. This is a gravity block duper. It worked on older versions of Bedrock Edition. If you send blocks like sand or gravel through it, it'll convert to any random item. So if you leave it on for a while, you'll eventually get items like the border block, fire block, bedrock, jigsaw, and light block, all from survival mode. Redstone ore can be very deadly. If you create a small box like this and spam XP bottles down, a lot of particles will come out. So much so that you may notice your frames dropping. But by disabling your particles, you can create a lag machine that only affects other people, giving you an advantage to anyone who comes near. In older versions of Bedrock Edition, you could get the end gateway block. You had to place down stone blocks like this, and then by spawning the wither on its side, it'll cause the end gateway to break into an item. Unfortunately, this bug doesn't work in the latest version, but it was a cool glitch you could have done back then. If you need to mine a huge area, you should use TNT dupers. For some reason, when you place coral and slime like this, it duplicates TNT. This is super overpowered and is every hardcore YouTuber's dream item. When you write on signs, the letters are actually floating in the air. You can see it best by using a spyglass to zoom into the sides. How do you get the uncraftable potion? You probably have seen it once or twice in the achievement menu, but what about getting the actual item? One way is by just giving yourself a potion. But if you don't want to be a cheater, just go to the 3D shareware update and you'll find the uncraftable potion in one of the barrels. The soul speed enchantment makes you travel at super speed on soul sand, but it used to be extremely broken. On this snapshot, if you use soul speed boots on soul sand, your boots will take damage until they have a negative durability. What's the best enchantment for armor? Protection, unbreaking, or maybe even thorns? How about none of them? Because when you enchant your armor on this old version, you just get the enchanted enchantment on your equipment. I guess this is the best. If you create a super flat world that's just TNT, you'll have one of the greatest explosions ever. You'll have an infinite chain reaction of TNT that'll only get laggier and laggier. But if you create this world in survival mode, make sure a creeper doesn't explode. Uh-oh. You can break bedrock with pistons, but did you know there's a way to get the actual item? This is one of the best and simplest ways to get it. On version 15W47C, first kill the Ender Dragon. Then while respawning it, you have to place and break the final end crystal instantly. Doing so will drop a piece of bedrock, one of the rarest items ever. Hooray! Whoops. In older versions of Minecraft, you could stack multiple item frames to create works of art. You could make flaming swords, super weapons, tools of infinite power. The possibilities were endless. All you had to do was place multiple item frames, place the new item, and repeat. Unfortunately, item frame stacking was patched, but if you're ever on an older version, this is a pretty cool trick. This illegal portal was made in survival. Normally, when you break the obsidian, the portal breaks instantly, but with an update suppressor, you can freeze time. The suppressors overload Minecraft so much that you can break the obsidian without the game realizing. This is so broken. What's the best way to get sand? You can mine for hours with a shovel, or you can do this instead. This sand duper uses the end portal and falling sand to get 72,000 sand per hour. It can also do concrete powder as well as gravel. Yeah, I'm never mining again. Have you ever wondered what's past the world border? You can see terrain past it, but you can't go further. Not even in spectator mode. But there's one way to reach the true end of the world. You need a pig and carrot on stick. And as you approach the world border, shrink it to go behind you. This will let you keep trotting until you reach the end. Over here, chunks no longer generate, and it's just lag. I can't believe this block is in Minecraft. When you place snow on top of a grass block, the texture changes. But if you remove the snow on top, it looks like this. To get the snowy grass block, an Enderman has to pick up a regular snow grass block. This works in version 1.16. And once the Enderman places back the block, you'll be left with this cursed thing. If you want it in creative mode, you can just use a debug stick. You can crash Minecraft with just a flint and steel and a dispenser. Normally the combo would light a nether portal, but not in this version. In 1.16.4, just flick this lever and you'll find yourself right at the launcher again. This is the most broken seed in all of Minecraft. It causes everything to repeat forever. The trees and islands, glaciers, ravines, it happens on Java 1.15.1 on this seed. When texture files are missing, this strange update block used to show up. In some older versions of the Bedrock Edition, you could place it with the /setBlockUnknown command. Although the block looks like dirt, shovels were ineffective against the block. One of the coolest things in Minecraft is the lag machine. They utilize some of Minecraft's least known features to crash servers. There are all different kinds, from bouncing armor stands to floating snowballs. My favorite is the minecart machine. It's super super simple to make and is extremely destructive. If you get 3 stacks of bottles and put them single file one by one into a brewing stand like this, you can click on the first, second, and third stack to get 190 items in survival mode. Unfortunately, the game doesn't let you store the 190 bottles in your inventory, so it's mostly just a fun trick. But if you drop the item on the ground, a mob that can pick up items can actually pick it up. You can make it rain arrows. When I shoot this arrow, more will fall down, creating a beautiful pattern. My favorite is shooting the arrow straight into the sky. To recreate this, just run the following command and you can even exchange the arrow tag with something like lightning. This is too cool. If you run the same command block multiple times, it'll create the lightning tornado. That's probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. How do you get netherite stairs? In Minecraft's Infinite Snapshot, there is an item called the swaggiest stair ever. You aren't able to craft it, but you can find it in one of the infinite dimensions. How are these squids flying? Squids are meant for water, but with this glitch, they'll soar through the sky. To do this, cram a bunch of squids in a tight area, and immediately they'll phase through the walls and glow. Glow squids can do this too, and it looks very cool at night. When you go to bed, only one of your cats bring you gifts. So, having multiple cats won't get you more items, but there's actually a loophole around this. By putting cats in boats, Minecraft can't tell there are multiple, and they end up all giving you gifts. It's the perfect setup. No, I'm sorry. Don't break any blocks on this world. If you touch even one, the entire world will fall apart. This is because the world is entirely sand with no blocks underneath. So if you break just one, it'll update the rest, creating a satisfying 5 seconds and a broken world. What causes the biggest explosion? End crystals, withers, maybe even TNT minecarts. Well, it's actually none of them. The largest explosions come from fireballs, because unlike other explosions, you can set the explosion power using commands. They're so powerful that they can even blow up water. But if you set the power too high, your game will crash, so be careful. Pigling bartering is super overpowered, but it's so slow. Luckily, Bedrock Edition pros found a way to speed it up by 100 times. All you need to do is grab a sticky piston and a gold block, and hook it up to a super fast clock. Then when you drop the gold, the pigling will pick a piece of gold up every time the block moves, giving you supercharged trading. Finally, infinite gravel. Just what I've always wanted. The furnace has unlimited fuel. Furnaces are really useful, but the problem is that you need to constantly refuel them. Luckily, you can make a carpet duper to infinitely fuel your furnaces. This contraption generates carpets at super speeds and lets you cook as many pork chops as you want. No more mining for coal or burning wood. You can break end portals in survival mode. Blowing up or mining the frame will work, but for some reason, a mushroom will. Bone mealing it a few blocks away will grow the mushroom right through the portal frames. Good luck beating Minecraft on this world. Did you know you can teleport mobs? Running this command will teleport the Ender Dragon right to you. But you can take this one step further and teleport every mob to your location, including things like boats and minecarts. The item frame looks pretty funky when you teleport it. I never knew it could be slanted. The double chest is nice, but the quad chest is even better. In older versions, you couldn't place more than 2 chests together. However, if you use the set block command, you could force another chest down. Doing so would reveal 3 inventories worth of storage. You can take this even further and set block 4 chests, creating a quintuple chest. There's so much storage that it gets cut off by the screen. This one block can permanently destroy your world. In creative mode, if you click a chest, all the items will be saved in the chest. You can fill another chest with this save chest, and then another one, and another one. Repeating this process will create a chest with so much data that the game won't be able to handle it. This is a slideshow. If more than 24 mobs are squeezed into a single block, they start to take damage. This is because of entity cramming. But you can actually increase the 24 mob limit with a game rule. You can cram thousands of mobs in a single block, but if you let them out, something strange happens. All the squished entities push against each other and create an animal cannon. Wait, how did they go both ways? You may know about the snowy grass block, but did you know it has a secret twin? If you place snow on top of mycelium, it ends up looking just like snowy grass. And you can even see beneath it by using a debug stick. You can ban players with hoppers. By filling a chunk with a bunch of hoppers, you'll cause anyone who loads it to instantly crash. They won't even be able to join back because they'll still be in the chunks. The only way to come back is if their player data was wiped. This is evil. Putting a thick item like an iron block on an item frame will make it stick out from both sides. You can see this best when you put the item frame on a slab or fence. Giving a wolf maximum regeneration, health boost, and absorption effects makes its tail spin in circles. This is because tail angles represent a wolf's health, so stacking all these effects makes the tail go crazy. Man, this is cursed. I always thought the recipe book was just part of the GUI, but it turns out it's an actual item. It can be obtained just by giving yourself a knowledge book with commands. Something pretty cool is that you can also attach NBT data to the book, so when you right-click it, it'll add recipes to your recipe tab. Minecraft resource packs can change your game to look like anything you want, whether it's having short swords, super detailed blocks, or this cool texture, but they can also make your game look way worse. The This texture pack unloads every single texture and replaces it with an error. What does rain look like? Oh my. You can get the Nether portal block? In Bedrock Edition 1.17, build this redstone contraption that pushes a snow block and lights a Nether portal. You can then use a silk touch shovel to instantly break the moving snow, which will bug out and let you farm infinite Nether portal blocks. How many striders can stack on top of each other? When striders were first added in the 1.16 snapshot, there was no limit to how many striders could spawn stacked. This made it so you could find even quintuplet striders. When you put a lead on the bottom one and got on the very top one, it'd cause you to start flying upwards. Unfortunately, this is no longer possible because striders can now only spawn in stacks of 2. You can trap players in Minecraft's end credits. When you beat Minecraft, you enter a credit screen and then spawn back at your bed. But what if you could make someone stuck in the credits forever? Well, with a command block, you can teleport someone to the end portal, making them read the end poem for eternity. This is the most cursed way to break Minecraft. By using the no cube mod, you can completely remove the cubes from the world, creating rolling landscapes, circular caves, and realistic trees. The mod transforms Minecraft from a block game to okay, what is this? Bring me back! If a charged creeper is given invisibility, the blue aura can still be seen. So if you stack a bunch of them on top of each other, you'll get this beautiful beam of light. Did you know armor stands can drown? If you put an armor stand underwater, eventually bubble particles will start coming out, showing it's drowning. I guess that means armor stands are living. You can't place water in the Nether, right? Well, not exactly. There's actually a secret way to place water. And no, I'm not talking about a cauldron. In this 1.17 snapshot, placing glow lichen in lava for some reason formed water. You could then flood the Nether and even grow crops. Vertical slabs are in Minecraft. By placing redstone blocks on either side of a stone wall and TNT on those blocks, the wall will stretch to look like a vertical slab. Although not too practical, it's still pretty cool. Well, those are the greatest ways to break Minecraft. Subscribe!